Great English Learners podcast. In every generation, a few individuals rise, leaders whose words, decisions, and values echo far beyond their immediate circles. What shapes them? What strengthens their voice? What refines their thinking? Welcome to a space where English mastery meets leadership mastery, where personal transformation becomes the foundation for global influence. This is the show for visionary minds, executives, policymakers, entrepreneurs, educators, and emerging leaders who understand that communication is not just a skill, it is a strategy. Here, we explore the psychology of influence, the discipline of personal growth, and the language power required to speak English with clarity, authority, and purpose. Join us as we decode leadership excellence from history, research, and real-world experience, and help you transform your mindset, your English communication, and your potential. This is where leaders are refined. So take a deep breath, open your mind, and get ready. This episode is titled, Workplace Emotional Intelligence. The skill that outperforms talent, tenure, and technical expertise. Emotional intelligence in the workplace is not a soft skill. It is a strategic competency, a predictor of performance, and a language every leader must master, especially leaders who communicate in English as a second language. In today's workplace, where hybrid teams, cultural diversity, and constant change define the environment, emotional intelligence, EI, has become the difference between those who react and those who respond with authority. This is not philosophy. This is data, experience, and leadership reality. 1. Why emotional intelligence outperforms hard skills. Studies across 20 years of organizational research show 90% of top performers score high in emotional intelligence, talent smart. EI explains 58% of success in leadership roles. Teams with emotionally intelligent leaders show up to 25% higher productivity, lower turnover, and stronger trust networks. In global companies, leaders with strong emotional intelligence receive more promotions than those with high technical skills alone. Why? Because technical skill is predictable. But people, their triggers, fears, expectations, motives, are not. Emotional intelligence helps you lead where logic alone fails. 2. What emotional intelligence actually means at work. Not theory. Not cliches. Actual leadership practice. Emotional intelligence in the workplace is the ability to A. Notice your internal state before it becomes external behavior. Most leaders do not lose control publicly. They lose control internally first, even the tension of their breath, the tightening of their jaw, the rushed tone in their voice. The emotionally intelligent leader catches this before it leaks out. B. Understand the emotional currents in the room. Every meeting contains 3 layers. What people say. What people want to say. What people are afraid to say. What people say. What people want to say. What people are afraid to say. Reading these layers is emotional literacy. C. Respond intentionally instead of reacting impulsively. A reaction is reflex. A response is strategy. Leaders are measured by their response discipline. D. Influence emotions without manipulating people. Improving morale is influence. Guilt-tripping, intimidating, or emotionally pressuring is manipulation. Emotionally intelligent leadership is principled, not performative. 3. The hidden workplace triggers that test your EI. Real workplaces are emotional minefields. The colleague who interrupts you. The manager who never acknowledges your work. The team member who always arrives late. The stressful email that arrives at 8:59 a.m. The urgent message that derails your entire plan. The passive-aggressive comment masked as a joke. The cultural misunderstanding that feels personal. These situations test your emotional intelligence more than any competency exam. Stoic leadership teaches. You cannot control the event, but you can govern the meaning. Emotionally intelligent leaders do not avoid emotional triggers. They prepare for them. 4. The 5 evidence-backed pillars of workplace emotional intelligence. 1. Self-awareness. The ability to name emotions before they hijack you. One study found that leaders who can accurately label their emotions reduce impulsive behavior by up to 40%. If you can't name it, you can't manage it. 2. Self-management. Regulating your behavior under pressure. This is where Stoic philosophy aligns with modern psychology. You do not fight emotions, you frame them. A delayed response is a powerful leadership weapon. It signals authority, not avoidance. 3. Social awareness. Understanding dynamics, not just dialogue. Research shows teams perform 10 to 30% when leaders demonstrate empathy. Empathy is not softness, it is strategic awareness. 4. Relationship management. Guiding, coaching, holding accountable, without emotional leakage. 5. Emotional boundaries. The often ignored pillar. High-EI leaders do not absorb everyone's emotions. They differentiate between your feelings, their feelings, the facts. This protects clarity, confidence, and composure. 5. How English learners can strengthen emotional intelligence at work. Emotional intelligence is not only a leadership skill, it is a communication skill, especially for non-native English speakers. A. Slow your speech to speed up your clarity. Fast speech increases misunderstandings and emotional misinterpretation. B. Use emotional markers in English. Phrases like, I sense that. What I'm understanding is. Help me see this clearly. Let's pause and revisit this. These signal emotional maturity. C. Practice tone discipline. English tone communicates more authority than English grammar. D. Ask clarifying questions instead of reacting. This prevents escalation and demonstrates leadership control. 6. The daily EI habits of high-level leaders. Emotionally intelligent leaders do not rely on motivation. They rely on rituals. Morning emotional check-ins. What emotion am I starting with? Response buffer. Always wait 3 to 10 seconds before responding to difficult comments. Weekly reflection audits. Where did I react? Where did I lead? Building psychological safety. Creating environments where truth, not fear, drives communication. Practicing structured calmness. Control your breathing, posture, and pace of speaking. Leadership is a language. Emotional intelligence is the grammar. 7. The ultimate principle. Authority without emotional discipline is an illusion. Your role, title, or seniority cannot compensate for emotional instability. People follow leaders not because they are perfect, but because they are emotionally predictable. In a world of uncertainty, the leader who can regulate themselves becomes the leaderot. Emotional intelligence is not simply a skill to learn. It is a character to become. Conclusion. If you want to lead with clarity, communicate with power, and influence without force, start with emotional intelligence. Build it deliberately. Practice it consistently. Live it daily. This is not modern advice. It is ancient wisdom. Validated by today's data. And required by today's workplace.